Welcome to MTG Ectoplasm, your home for Spirit Travel and Magic the Gathering. I'm your host, Dwight, aka Di Blanco, a medium that wears an extra large. You can reach out to me on Twitter at MTG Ectoplasm, or you can email me directly at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Let me know how am I doing. Am I doing a good job, a bad job, or maybe I shouldn't quit my day job? Now, like I do each and every single week, I like to introduce the driver, the engineer of the show, the young lady who does all the little bells and whistles, like this little banner here, the one, the only. Let's bring in the ravishing Renata. How you doing there, ravishing?
I'm doing all right.
How you feeling?
Okay.
A long week?
Long week, slightly under the weather today.
Yeah, you've been doing doubles, working on a long week. I've been working doubles myself, so God forbid. I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen us out there put a video, but we're doing a live episode. You know, I thought it was a moral imperative. This young man, you know, he's good friends of the show. He's been with us since, I guess, year 2 of the show. And let me just tell you, great wealth of knowledge. Let me bring in the young man who we know is Mr. Valko. Mr. Peter Valko. How you doing there, sir?
Dwight, how are we doing tonight? It's good to be back. Renata, I'm sorry to hear you're feeling under the weather. You guys seem to be working very hard, but glad to be back.
Yeah, you have no clue how hard we're working. We're as a nurse.
You guys are in the you at least know are in the medical field, so I have a rough idea of how hard you're working.
Well, she works in IT, so it's like it's a lot. I feel for her. Exactly. That's why she does all the bells and whistles for the show. She does too much. God bless.
She's magical. She's wonderful.
Yes, and I wish she was more spiritual. Get it? Spiritual. But no, she's not. So it's all right. She's angelic. You
Different
see where
tribe.
I like that. So Peter, for those who don't know, you can find Peter at Bucketman on Twitch, right?
Bucketman Forever on Twitch, Bucketman Eternal on Instagram, where you're going to see a lot of the bigger updates.
All right. Well, here's a video you have.
Right there, you've got what was it? Yeah, load this up, and I'm not even prepared. Good God. So yeah, that's my Instagram, my YouTube on there. Since I started with Dwight, I've kind of been more of an informant, doing streaming for fun. Now, recently, I've been able to get more content out there, putting some skits out for you guys, sharing more stuff. So I've been getting a lot of feedback. I've been getting out and talking to people, meeting a lot of people. Hopefully, working with some people soon. But that's where you're going to find everything there, stream updates, content, everything. I really appreciate what you guys, the attention I've gotten so far, the people that show up. We have a lot of fun.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're part of the Brew Crew, you do need to join Peter. He's a great time, great fun. Again, great person to watch. I would say you are definitely a brewer at heart. And let me just tell you, he does great jokes here and there. He's not tee-hee funny. He's ha-ha funny.
And he'll go for great stuff.
So we're going to give you a little sneak peek. For those who don't know what today's episode is about or show, Ravishing, let's bring up the first slide. And for those who don't know, we're going to be talking a little bit the first half of Magic Arena. Now, I'm going to make a guess here. All right, Ravishing, take a look at this image. What type of vibe are you getting here?
I'm getting kind of a werewolf vampire type of vibe.
Wow. Well, Peter. Oh, I think she's been watching too much MTG Ectoplasm because she's picking this pretty well. Peter, tell us what we're going to be talking about this evening.
Well, I'm going to start this off by saying, since this was announced, I have been paying extra close attention to this, and mostly for the sake of Dwight coming to Arena and keeping him up to date with this stuff. But as soon as I saw that we were going to get Shadows of Innistrad Remastered for Arena, for those of you who don't know, that isn't the Shadows of Innistrad set. It's a big collection of the missing Innistrad powerful cards that are needed for Arena. If you want, you can check out MTG Arena Zone. There's a couple other sites that have the spoilers up. But I've been paying attention to this very specifically because of spirits.
All
and
right.
Dwight, we've got some big news here.
Well,
and I don't think a lot of people are in the spirit world and noticing and taking it very seriously. So I'm going to start by saying Bant Spirits is going to be on Arena. We have the pieces.
Well, it's kind of funny because when you first told me about this was about 3 weeks ago. I was like, okay, what's going on? And then we hear remastered, right? Because we're typically used to hearing Time Spiral Remastered, Dominaria Remastered, right? So the first things that came to my mind is, okay, that means they're gonna redo some of the artwork, and guess what? We're gonna end up getting this in paper. You know what?
No, not the case. Not the case. A lot of people don't associate the word remastered properly nowadays. If you all will remember, we had a Monkette remastered. We've had a few remastered sets on Arena so far, and a little bit of mini remastering when they added the Modern Horizons cards through one of the Jumpstart sets. They do it in all ways and forms, but this one's particularly important, and I think we should go over why. So we are getting the necessary pieces for blue, white, and Bant spirits, and the key one that I think is most important: Drog Skull Captain.
Okay. Yeah, because let's bring it up, bring that up, and this is here we are. These are the cards. There's one missing right there, but
It's
Drug Skull
Mausoleum Wanderer,
Mausoleum Wanderer, there's Selfless Spirit, and
Spellcaller,
then
and Drog Skull. So yeah, two missing.
so like wow, like me personally, I'm out of all of them where I'm very quite surprised is the Drug School Captain.
And why
Like
is that?
because because we know that Arena tends to be wants to go pioneer, and Drug School Captain himself is not a pioneer card.
Oh
It's
yes,
a
yes,
modern card.
yes. Drog Skull Captain is a Pioneer card.
Are you
I'm
sure?
almost positive. Let's do. We're
Oh,
gonna do this live right now.
okay. I'm looking right now. See, I call shenanigans. View. Oh, come on. See, this is why I hate about WotC's
That's in legality.
Drug Skull. See, I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay,
call
I was wrong. Wow,
Yeah.
really?
So that's what made me go, huh?
Now I'm looking at. Wow, that's weird. Okay, no, that isn't a very interesting point. Um,
Because I remember
I
this.
haven't thought about that till now because here's the thing: this is going to be available on Explorer, which is the mini Pioneer.
Exactly. That's my whole exact point. Because my thing is, the way I'm thinking about this came back out with the first Innistrad. And now my thing is like, okay, now we get Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. What are we doing with Innistrad cards? It didn't
So
make sense. And then when this allegedly got spoiled, Drug School Captain, I was like, really? Is Wati potentially telling us something in the near future that we may see Drug School Captain in Pioneer?
maybe a reprint, but I think it's to the larger point. It's something that people tend to often not think about with Arena. It's its own format, not just
Hmm.
in the sense of historic, but all over. They have made it very clear over and over again that they are going to be doing things differently on Arena than paper.
Okay.
Whether it be through the Hearthstone mechanics, through methods of mechanics that are shared between paper and Arena and balanced because of Arena's existence. It's a different thing, and I think really people need to stop expecting the same things that they would out of paper from Arena.
See, I don't know any better. Since I'm a paper person, I go play paper events. You're pulling this old dog into, digital. I'm into the MTGO, but I'm like slowly begging the wife, like, can I have a couple dollars for Arena?
Yeah,
I need to make my spirit deck in Arena. And of
tax
course,
return season's coming up.
she gives me this look like, you already have a lot of paper. It's like, yeah.
Yes.
I was like, and you had to pimp out your deck, didn't you? I was like, yes, I did. Because I don't know if you missed the past episodes, I had Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. He actually pimped out his Azorius Pioneer deck, and I, the guy who promotes spirits all the time, my deck was not pimped out. So I felt ashamed. I deserved to have my hand slapped. So now I'm going out of my way to, pimp it out.
There are those who are the representatives of the brand and those who glam the brand.
Well, I want to be both.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about the big important thing, which I was actually just talking to my friend Matt about this earlier. Banned spirits, whether it be historic or pioneer, is going to be a force to be reckoned with in best of one
Yes.
specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. Now, throughout a lot of best of one decks, you're not going to see board wipes outside of a control deck. Supreme Verdict, Anger of the Gods, anything like that. It's not, I don't see it as much in best of one as I do in or a traditional best of three, being that they sideboarded in, or just because the traditional world's different. Getting that game one is that important. That being said, because of Drogskol Captain giving all the other spirits hexproof, making him that much harder to deal with, Mausoleum Wanderer disrupting their early game, the way Spirits runs, I think it stands a really good chance for you to rank up in best of one with Spirits.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think, sure, there's a lot of people decks that run singleton removal, but I think the board wipe issue is the big thing that Spirits worry about.
Right.
And it's a Flyers deck. It gets right over your head. Unless you have a Flyer, you're not interacting with those guys with bodies.
Well, now that you talked about mass removal, we are getting now Selfless Spirit in this new remastered set, so that does help with the mass removal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even if they do have the board wipe, it's well set up. We have the Collected Company. We have all the spirits. We have little tiny spells like mental. Was it the new mental misstep that actually costs mana, not Phyrexian mana? We have kill spells. We have white, blue removal, spot removal, bounce. It's set up really well, and I'm actually really excited come release day to start playing some banned spirits myself.
Now, this is going to be, let me ask you, is this going to be for basic arena, or is this leaning into explore the soft Pioneer?
So now that we've made this discovery about Drogskol Captain, I mean, on one hand, I wanted to go with my earlier argument and say Arena, it's its own format. They've made this point several times. Maybe Arena Pioneer is going to be different than Paper Pioneer. On the other hand, maybe we're getting a Drogskol Captain reprint in the future.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Especially with the new art. Sense. Yeah.
I would like to have an extended art foil, Drogskol Captain. I don't know if other Pioneer pilots like myself would love that.
It makes me wonder, because the art of it, I mean, looking back at it now, it kind of looks a Monketish, which makes me wonder if we're going back to a Monket in the near future. But this is,
again, bring up the image again so everybody can see what we're talking about. Monketish?
Like a Monket. Like, okay, I thought, there's an army behind him.
Yeah,
I thought there were mummies, but
no, he's still wearing the old colonial.
Yeah. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder where we're going, though. That being said, Spellqualler is an excellent addition. I think really, whether it be best of one or best of three, Banned Spirit's going to be something to watch out for, but best of one is going to be really where it shines.
Now, right now, like you play Arena all the time. What type of decks right now are like? Should we, if wait for when this gets released, what decks are out there? Should we consider like the top three?
What are we looking at? The Explorer or the Historic here?
Let's go both.
Okay, so if we're starting with Historic, mono white, whether it be Angels or just general life gain, is usually the number one, I find. It's very budget friendly, very easy for people to build, operate, and just grind with. They'll go with it constantly. The next would probably have to be also another tie between either blue-white or Jeskai Control.
Okay.
And honestly, I think it would just, it's really, I try to think a little bit more, but for years now, and it's not even something I can complain about because of how easy the decks are to build and operate. But mono red and mono white have been very predominant decks since Arena's release.
Mono red, there's no real, I hate to say it this way, and I know most mono red players are going to.
I know what you're getting at. There are very different sects of mono red.
Okay, yeah, it's simplified. It's not. I'm not going to say it's easy mode, but there's no.
There are the creature-based ones, and then there are the spell slingers, and then there's goblins.
Yeah,
but that's Historic. Now, Explorer, I'm a little out of touch of, and I haven't been playing for a bit, especially since Phyrexia's release. So I can't really speak that much to that, but I would assume right now Trax is running around somewhere in some sort of reanimator shell. Toxic is the venerated Rot Priest deck is doing a lot of something in Explorer. And those are really the only two I could speak of right now. I honestly have not been playing a lot of Explorer. I've been drowning in Historic and Limited.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair enough. I don't blame you. I know I've played the venerated Rod Priest deck, and oh my god, played it in Selesnya color and also Simic, and wow, that's a fun deck to play. For Ishing Needles.
I never thought there would be a broken use for the Green March.
Yeah, you're right. 100% right. It's like, oh, I'll do this for 2. I'll grab another one of the venerated, Rod Priest. Yay me.
Yeah, and you're gonna take a ton of poison damage.
Yep.
But again, in a good spot. It's looking good for Bant Spirits, Blue-White Spirits, whatever have you. Yeah, exciting.
Well, let me know, Magic players. Boo Crew, you let me know. What do you think? Are you excited for Shadows over Innistrad Remastered for Arena? Or is it just something that you're mad? Me personally, it's pulling me more and more to Arena, even though I'm not there yet, just because there's a particular style of spirits I like to play, and it's slowly morphing there. I'm starting to get as I say, titillated.
I will say if it does draw you to Arena more, it's not like Moto where you're paying for your event and you're hoping that you get your wins so it pays out. Arena, you can sit, play. It's like it brings out what you originally loved about Magic. You pair up with someone and you play a game and you hope you do your best and maybe you rank up.
All right. Well, there's something to consider, Boo Crow. So let me know on the comment section. What do you think? Are you? Let me hear from you if you're excited, and if you want to see me play it. You know what? Why not? I'll give it a shot. I just gotta ask the Ravishing One to give me money. Okay, she's not saying nothing. It's all just That's all. That's all I'm getting from her.
Well done. I thought you were going to use that earlier, if anything, during his joke, but whatever.
No. All right, Ravishing. Let's see what the next slide is, and the next slide is okay. Any Dana? Oh, our merch. Okay, Ravishing, bring up the merch. Talk about it.
We have MTG Ectoplasm t-shirts. We have MTG Ectoplasm Boot Crew t-shirts as well at www.mtgectoplasm.com. They come in all sizes and colors for men and women, and we also have our coffee mug.
There you go. So get it while you have. Also, I got the spirit flavors. So if you're looking for a Bant flavor, Azorius flavor, even Mono Blue Snow flavor, we have it too at the store. Go and check it out. Get your MTG Ectoplasm, store merch to help us out, so we can upgrade our stuff.
I need a mug.
My wife will allow me to
I need that
play some
logo
Arena.
put on my sleeveless cardigan.
There you go. So, Ravishing, let's bring up the next slide, and we're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings. I don't know about you. This is something I was like, but looking at this card, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, Boo Crew. I don't think we're going to get Modern Horizons 3 this year. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be replacing Modern Horizons 3 that all of us were hoping for. But Lord of the Rings, let me just tell you, the flavor is there. I'm like really feeling the flavor of this set and this one ring. Let me, Ravishing, read us the one ring for us, please.
When the One Ring enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. Put a burden counter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the One Ring.
Now, it's a legendary artifact. It should be. The thing that makes it scary is that it's indestructible. Now, all your things get protection from everything. I don't know about you, Peter, but I'm very, very, very happy this thing doesn't have flash. What do you think?
How big of a reaction and real of a reaction do you want on this?
I'll let you go with it. Go ahead.
Well, okay. This card is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you. You said it before. Lore. This was something they not only went with in flavor, but in actuality. Now, I don't want to diverge from the actual card, but you know about the one ring, the one special one that they're printing. The one edition, the only one of the art that they're going to print throughout the entire thing is going to be one. It's a special art with the Elven language on it.
Right.
They went so crazy to make sure, because I think they knew if they got this even one bit wrong or underpowered its lore, they would have been literally thrown in the eye of Sauron. And I know almost nothing about Lord of the Rings, and so that's really the best I could come up with.
Blasphemy, sir. You need to now go watch the 4-hour movies. All 3 4-hour movies. Take a 12-hour episode day and just watch all the movies combined, the extended videos.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. You get me.
I have the
J.R.
DVD,
Tolkien.
I have the
You get me
Blu-ray
J.R.R.
copies.
Tolkien's billing address, and once I can bill him for the 24 hours of life I will have missed out on for sitting through those movies. Not that they're not good, not that they're
They're
not
great.
well choreographed, but that is long.
Yes, they
And
are. It's worth
you
it.
need to get me some substances. That's all I'm going to say.
Let me just tell you, it's very, very well worth the watch. One thing, I'll be honest with you, me and my play crew that I play with, uh, they were a little disappointed in this card. And it's kind of hard to believe, like, how could you be disappointed in this card? Is because they all expected the One Ring to be Soul Ring. They're like, oh, they're just going to reprint Soul Ring and call it the One Ring.
Well, that makes me upset. Like, that shows me that they were not excited enough or not expecting enough for this.
I
I
wasn't
knew
expecting
from the
much.
start, once I saw this Lord of the Rings thing, I knew they need to watch and make sure they do this very right, because the fans will crucify them.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of you gotta consider, if it wasn't for J.R.R. Tolkien, we wouldn't have Harry Potter, we wouldn't have probably have Magic, we wouldn't have Dungeons and Dragons. J.R.R. Tolkien, it did a lot for the genre.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
So, Revision, let's bring up the next image, shall we? And here we are. We have the Shire and Mount Doom. Since you didn't read the book, the Shire is where the Hobbit's coming from, and Mount Doom is where they have to take that One Ring to destroy it. Now, the Shire enters the battlefield tap unless you control a legendary creature, which is very nice. Tap it for
I
green,
like that touch.
and then you can tap a green and generic, tap an untapped creature you control, create a food token. It's very Shire-y. For those who know the Shire, it's a peaceful, humble place where you grow a bunch of vegetables and fruits. Yeah, I can see the food token.
But the thing I like about the Shire is that even if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, you can look at that art there and just see that that's what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
What that on that card, if you're reading into it in the right way, it makes sense.
I'm looking at it and seeing New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm wrong with that. Just I didn't pick it up before.
Then they have Mount Doom with Legendary Land. Now, pay 1 life to add a black or a red. I'm a huge fan of this card already. You tap a generic, a black and a red, tap it. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. Ooh, not bad. Or you tap 5 generic, a black and a red in itself, sacrifice Mount Doom and legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's like a board wipe that protects 2 of your creatures.
So let me ask you, how relevant to lore is the choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest?
100% to flavor.
Okay.
100%.
So here's my thoughts on this card here. Short of Blast Zone, we've never had a board wipe land.
No.
So this is big.
Mm-hmm.
The deal 1 damage to the opponent, this speaks very closely to being in a Grixis or Mardu shell. I like it. Not often when you see lands have attacks of pay 1 life to get to the mana source, do you really see a big enough payoff through or enough value in that land? So that's what I like about this. Also, this is what I should have said instead of the Eye of Sauron, but okay, cool.
All right, yeah. And the 2 creatures, if you're wondering, is Frodo and Samwise Gamgee. Okay. Next slide. And the next slide here is, check this out. What the hell's going on? Hello? Can you hear
Hello.
me?
I can hear you, kind of.
Maybe. Uh-oh. Did I have technical difficulties? Here I go.
We can work through this.
Here I go again on my own. I guess not. I'm screwed. Well, anyways, can you hear me?
No, not through here.
Not through here. Okay, but you can hear me otherwise, Peter, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. It sounds like you're not on the mic. It sounds like you're just talking in the room. I think it's your microphone's off.
Maybe. Testing. Oh, there you go.
There
I'm
you
back.
go.
Hey, everybody! I'm back. Technical difficulties fixed on the fly. Okay, so we have Frodo, Sauron's Bane, for one white. Then we have Samwise, the stout-hearted, a generic and white. Obviously, both halfling citizens, right? 1, 2, 2, 1. Then we have Gollum, the patient plotter, one generic and a black, and then obviously the one ring for 4 mana. This, I don't know if you're looking at the artwork, Peter, but it tells a story.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed, but if you look between, this is just me personally, if you look between Samwise, the stout-hearted, and Gollum, the patient plotter, it looks like the two images actually come together, just like the Gollum in the One Ring and Frodo and Samwise.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it's like it goes
Samwise
like
throwing the
4-card
ring.
story.
It's Samwise who throws the ring off, right?
No,
It's
it is
Frodo
not.
then.
Neither.
Oh.
A spoiler alert if you're watching. What happens is that Gollum jumps on Frodo's back, tries to steal away the ring. Frodo loses his finger, and Gollum has it. It falls into the center of Mount Doom, and Gollum chases after it, and they both burn the One Ring and Gollum.
So,
and then Frodo's left like this,
yes,
4-fingered.
Between the 4 images on screen here, even with what I said about the One Ring before, out of everything I've seen so far, Gollum is the most on point with flavor. And this is, I can say that even with, and I will back it up with my limited knowledge on Lord of the Rings, simply because of how much of a meme the tempting of Gollum and the recursion of Gollum has become throughout media and in general. So, like, you get rid of him, he comes back, and he's tempting you to get the ring. It's all spoken within that card effect, and that's really what I love about these kind of sets is they have to make the story or what that character's about be spoken clearly through its effect.
Right, 100% agree with you. Now, one thing, Peter, I wish, this is just hearing me out, Watsy, if you're watching, and I hope you are, that I wish I could get more storyboards like this from Frodo all the way to the One Ring. I mean, we've seen that before in what was this in Kamigawa, when you had all the panoramic lands, where you had all 4 lands of each type, and it made a beautiful panorama. They need to do more stuff like this. They did it like I believe with Urzatron, the most printing version of Urzatron. They had all 3 versions of Urza's lands come together as one image.
Right. What was the special edition of Lord of the Rings? It was like 48 hours, right?
The special edition was like it's technically the video movie is 3 hours, but they then added an additional hour, so it's like 4 hours total.
Okay, I thought it was much longer than that. Okay.
Well, each movie, and there's 3 movies, so that's like
okay. So yeah,
hours.
Okay, cool. So I feel like if you want that, you're gonna have to be asking Wizards for a deluxe edition like that, where they're just like, okay, this set's gonna be 1,300 cards, and they're mostly just gonna be for the art.
I would get it. I personally would get it just because the flavor of the Lord of the Rings and how much I enjoy Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god, if I get a reaction to this, I'll love it. But Renata, your response to that?
She's laughing. What do you think? She's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say because she doesn't want to get me upset, and at the same time, she's like, she's being cheap.
Yeah.
I would hope she's thinking better than the illusion of a 1,300 card set, and you being like, yeah, she'll be fine with that.
Yeah,
whatever.
They're making 1,000
mostly
cards
art for story, no value. It's fine in this metaphorical set we've made up.
Peter, they're making March of the Machines, which is 1,000 card set. So
I would buy that 100%. I would buy John Connor, the Planeswalker, 1,000%. As long as it's not based on that one from 2015 where it was Michael Ironside in a friggin' submarine spouting stupid nonsense when it could have been something much more.
That one was great.
But no, I think what was worse about it was that they made it seem like who was playing John Connor in that one?
I have no clue.
I forget who it was, but I was really excited about it. And then it was just mostly the submarine. And yeah, it was bad. Nah. So as long as it's not that.
So let me ask you, Peter, are you upset, like some people are, that this is going to be just a modern, direct to modern set?
No, honestly, you know what? Through talking about this with you, I'm actually more pleased with this than I was with Warhammer or any of the other ones we've done so far. This, and I think again, it's because they knew that if they didn't, they would be literally there would be Lord of the Rings extremists coming to Wizards of the Coast headquarters, turning it into Mount Sauron or whatever if they got it wrong. But they did good. They did really good with this set. And I don't really know that much again about Lord of the Rings, but from what I do know and from what you've told me, this is very true to the story. And I think short of what my friend told me about what's his name? The Aragorn, is that his name?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They changed the race on him from what he originally was, my friend told me.
Yes.
Other than small things like that, they did great.
They actually made a artistic error, or maybe they didn't. They did one with Aragorn being Caucasian and another one where he's African American. So
see,
it's like,
and I was discussing with him about that. Like, there's times in media where you do that and it works, like when they made Nick Fury Samuel Jackson, and other times.
No. I'm talking about the card. There's two different cards of Aragorn. One white guy, the other one African American. Yeah, it's just like,
I didn't see that one.
Ooh, like yeah, they screwed the pooch on that one.
I feel like they were trying to please a party that no one was asking them to please with this set by doing that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
To me personally, I don't care what color you are.
Absolutely not.
It doesn't matter. But
it's just the matter of lore, which I discussed with him.
Right. Now, for those who don't know, and if you're part of the Brew Crew and who knows Lord of the Rings, there is a Spirit King. There is a Spirit Lord who leads a Spirit Army. Could we end up seeing a Spirit in this set?
Just if what you're saying is true,
it's
very
true.
Possible.
It's damn true. It's damn true. So I'm excited to see potentially, this set has just been slowly been leaking out here and there. I'm a little annoyed. Me personally, I was hoping for Modern Horizons 3. I wanted to get my New Horizon Azorius land that I'm not getting. But I'm okay with Lord of the Rings. I'm like, after that Magic 30 fiasco to now getting Phyrexia All Is One, which I'm a big fan of. Maybe, just maybe, WotC's actually doing something smart for once.
I feel like when they do the Star Wars set, they're going to be under the same pressure.
There's a Star Wars set coming?
I'm just viewing the horizon as what I can predict. I know that nothing's been confirmed.
I was like, no.
I mean, it's not unrealistic. I mean, laser swords, Kamigawa. We have lightsabers.
Yeah, you gotta. We have Transformers. I mean, we have Transformers. Potentially, My Little Ponies. Oy vey.
We don't. But no. Well, no. The My Little Pony is is something Comic-Con thing. That's hardly even no. No.
You don't want to play with a rainbow unicorn bat hybrid?
I would. I say this being friends with several people who enjoy that show. I would rather be found beaten in an alleyway by 5 bronies with glitter thrown all over my body.
I would pay to see that happen.
I bet you would.
So, Peter, tell us how we can view you or watch you.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're at that point now. So like I said earlier, most of the information for when I'm going to be streaming and, general news and nonsense I post is to the Instagram, Bucketman Eternal. Bucketman1337 is my YouTube. I've been posting more stuff on there, been able to get some more content up. Plan on doing more, plan on working with people. I've got, a couple things down the pipeline. Don't want to say things too soon, but
Okay.
working on stuff that's
There you
going to be
go.
dumb.
Hey, dumb works. Dumb can be fun. Dumb can be exciting. So I'm excited.
I threw
to see
myself down a flight of stairs for that skit.
Yeah, well, that is pretty dumb.
Yes.
But I'm excited to see, Boo Crew, let us know what you think. Tell us, like I said, are you excited for the Shadows of Innistrad remastered coming out? And how do you feel about the Lord of the Rings? Are you pleasantly surprised at what you see? Is there something potential you would like to see in it? Me personally, I'm hoping to see the Spirit King or Spirit Lord that was in the book. And also we got to see Aragorn talk to the guy and bring out his spirited army and kick some names and take some ass.
Indeed. And we got the Shadows is going to be great. I think we have a affirmative good horizon for the next month of Magic.
Until we get March of the Machines and then that 1,000 card. This is going to be a lot to go through.
They're going to, if they do March of the Machines, they're going to bring back a mass.
I'm expecting it. I'm truly expecting it.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be exciting. This is as a person who likes Magic, who likes the lore, enjoys. I'm excited to see what WotC does.
And I am too.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show. Thank you, Peter, for being here with us. And remember, the next time you're kicking your opponent's ass, make sure they say, "That's Boo Sheet."